if you're grieving, cry, mourn, don't hold it in. I think also as leaders and as managers, people need to know that, you know what, we are dealing with human beings, these are not machines. As Ugandans, we need a mindset change. We think we are going to be given. We need to be go-getters. We have everything to achieve that status.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the most popular segment on Uganda, on marketing. Today we have one of the very few chartered marketers in this country, and it's Winnfred, Keere. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
Winnie, how does it feel to be one of the few chartered marketers?
I haven't taken that in. People around me keep telling me you're chartered.
Big deal.
For me, it feels like an imposter sometimes.
Yeah.
I ask myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I fluked it, but yeah, it is good. It puts me in a different ballgame when I'm talking to people and they get to know I'm a chartered marketer. The conversations change. People begin looking in a different light. Some even go to a point of giving you respect. This person is a pro in their field.
Of course. I think that's what CMI, PROW, certified organizations aim to achieve.
Yes.
We have professionals. We had a guest on the podcast and he was from the Uganda Digital Society, and he was trying to encourage all other digital practitioners to join the community so we don't work in silos, casters, bloggers, different sects of digital. So that's impressive. Let's say someone abroad is trying to look for a marketer here in Uganda. They find people like you.
Yes, they do. SIM has the portal to check.
Yes.
Because there are regions by name. And you find, oh, this one is there. Some of us say we're chartered when we are not. So that portal is helping to see who is real, who has done the work, and who hasn't.
Yeah. Before, when we were preparing for this episode, we had a look at that website, and it had Winnfred, Keere, International Chartered Marketer. So she can practice anywhere in the world. Great to have your insights today on the podcast.
Thank you.
And you talked about being real. I like how real you are when you deliver your insights, when you're mentoring people. You talk about some really deep conversations, and we're happy to delve into them today. A lot of people go through grief. But as professionals, it's not discussed enough. Tell us about the grief you have faced and how you have come out of it, or how you're still managing.
In terms of grief, I have had so much loss around me. When I first felt real loss was my mom. And for that, I was working in some organization. I don't want to give them a free advice, but the team around me were really, really good. It became a family. We call ourselves the city family, but people were there. People cared. In that, even when I got back to work, about 2 weeks after the loss of my mom, they kind of removed the heavy task assignments and gave me the light things.
Really?
Yeah. Then the organization gave me counseling. The most important thing was gospel music. I would lock myself in the room, listen to gospel music. Cry. If you're grieving, cry, mourn. Don't hold it in.
Yeah. Sometimes at the office?
At the office, I would go to a corner of the bathrooms, sit down and cry. But the part where I would do it the most would be in my room at home. At the office, we had a boardroom that was never used much. I would go in there and say, I'm working for the boardroom. Tears streaming, playing gospel. For some reason, a lot of comfort I got in the gospel. In workspaces, people need to be kind. People might never understand loss and grief until that point. Looking back, how have I been treating people who lost loved ones? Have I been empathetic? Have I been caring enough? People are going through so many emotions.
Yes.
So many things come around.
Give an example on how we should be treating.
And just being available and understanding them. So I'll give you an example. I made a mistake at my former workplace and it could have cost the company money. My supervisor, Lady Immaculate, she kind of took out this assignment from me and gave it to someone else. And then during the grieving time, she gave me lightweights for that time. Yeah. But also she would take she would take time to check in. Are you okay? Are you well? And I had a sister circle at work who made it a point to always find out, are you fine? Then they would take you out. They would kind of make you forget for the moment. Yeah. But they did not know that they were actually helping me, and I've never told them. So if they are listening, they will listen today. Yeah. but they help me a lot to go through that process.
Yeah.
And I think also as leaders and as managers, people need to know that, you know what, we are dealing with human beings. These are not machines. There's a break. How do you handle that? Do you push this person? No deadlines. People need to understand that I can take this workload and give them space to grieve.
Yeah.
The person grieving shouldn't overdo it. Organizations need results.
Yeah.
Grieve, then come back and work.
Yeah. But this leisure would be allotted to someone who is actually hardworking.
Yes.
As opposed to people who disappear and don't even communicate.
I think it's just about understanding, because you do not know what people are going through. At one point I thought I want to remain in the village, resign my job. I don't want to pick calls, see people, I don't want to talk to anyone. But then I started remembering, okay, my mother was hardworking. She always wanted me to, prosper. She wanted me to move ahead. Would she be happy with this? The memories of her advice brought us back as a family. Even today, I ask myself, what would mommy do? What would mommy say? If I put myself in her shoes, she would always say, pray.
Yeah.
Pray about it. God will answer, pray about it. If I don't find anything, I'll plug in my headsets and listen to gospel music.
Wow.
After that, I would feel, a weight has been lifted.
Yeah.
And I can do whatever I need. Take the next day as it comes.
Thank you for sharing this, because normally people are not so fragile, especially in the corporate space. Brush it off and well put together, but they're grieving inside, broken inside, and have nowhere to share this with somebody. So every time I see something so real from you, I appreciate it.
I think also as women in workspaces, it's okay to be vulnerable. It is okay. I don't think we need to look at it as being weak. And I think vulnerable leadership is the best, because then you're open and people get to know this person is actually human.
Trust you.
They trust you and you're going to get things done because of that connection.
It's a nice introduction into the podcast. Winnie is very deep, as you realize. She has deep expertise in digital marketing, banking, teleco. She talked about Sente family, so she'll be telling us more. How did you get into marketing? Marketing chose you. But how did you get here? You took a pivot from one to the other. Take us through how you started. How did this all start for you?
My journey is actually one that I recently sat back and I'm like, actually, if this gentleman hadn't told me I am best fit in marketing, I wouldn't be there. I went to Centenary Bank in 2014. I went for an interview for customer experience. From Teleco, I was from customer experience. So I went to the bank and I was like, I'm going to ace this. I'm coming from customer experience. Telecos are known for having the best.
Yes.
I get to the interview room, and at the end of the panelist thanked me. A gentleman called Sipo Lubega looks at me and smiles. I leave the room. Then 2 weeks later, he gives me a call and he's like, Winnie, do you have a minute to chat? I'm like, yes, I do. Then he asks me, what if I told you I don't have a position in the customer experience, but I have an opening in marketing? I first keep quiet and I'm like, okay, marketing. Yeah, I've done some stints in marketing, but not full blown there. Yeah. Then I'm like, what do I lose? Bring it on. I get into the bank. It's a new sector.
Yes.
Ways of doing things are different. I was like, okay, how do I do this? Do you have a background of customer experience? Start from a point of a customer. What does a customer want? Not what does a company want. I went into that first best performer now. 1 year into the bank and I'm getting this. I was excited. Second year and the rest is history. Marketing is now part of me. The passion I have for people and making sure we are giving them the right things as marketers. We are telling them the right messaging. It was amazing. I went back to school at UMI, did CIM. Here we are, marketer, and I'm enjoying it. You do something and realize it's impacting lives. Impact consuming. Marketing, when you look at numbers, okay. I never knew I was a marketer until I started getting my own things. I love gadgets. So someone selling gadgets, I'll be like, send me your pictures. Let me post on my status. People are like, you don't usually post low quality. Tell me about this. How is it? Where is the contact? I was like, okay. Then you'd find people telling you, I'm coming to you, I have my strategy I want us to go through together. There's a way you bring up an ongoing strategy that no one has looked at. Why don't you put the customer you want to target first? And then think backwards how you want to talk to them, where and what you're going to tell them. At that point I realized, okay, Percy, I've never said thank you. So I'll say thank you because he did me a great service. If I
Yes.
had gone into experience, I probably would have been bored by now.
Yeah.
But with marketing, every day you're learning something new.
Yeah.
We are in the age of digital. You learn and unlearn.
Yeah.
If I was in a customer experience, then what? Marketer does.
It's not far from the truth. I've also had so many people in leadership position that have said really quite impressive things about you, strategy-wise. It seems you're always willing to learn, not just pivoting or the detour from service to marketing itself, but also your continued urge to learn. So you talked about UMI, CMI. Why do you find the need to continuously learn? I also notice you keep getting certificates. Why? You could have thought, well, I've arrived. How many judged marketers are
I think we are less than 30. I saw from the Uganda Marketers Society 3 more. We're about 25, 26 in Uganda.
Why the need to keep learning?
For me, marketing is like teaching. Every day there's something new to learn, something else people need to know. At the risk of becoming a cake, I would rather learn, have information on how we are going to get to customers, market products or services, speak to people. Marketing and communications are not far from each other. So you need to know from the beginning, how am I getting this customer, what product is for them, how do I communicate to them, how is the experience on different touch points. Let me say a call center, what experience do they get? When they go to a mobile app, what do they get? And some of these things, it takes learning, going maybe to the field and then sitting down and seeing how is this done? Why are they doing it like this? Why are customers doing this? All that is part of learning. When you're doing that, you're skilling and honing yourself more, and then you share with the team. I was here, I did this, I noticed, we're not doing this right. I believe in criticizing myself first before someone else criticizes me. So if I have all the ammunition, I've studied, I've gone to the field trips, done some studies, I'm looking at people, how do they do it, I'm looking at customer journeys differently. It gives me comfort knowing that the end person is going to get something well thought through. That is why today I'm doing strategy, because I want to know what is the link between strategy and marketing. What's the link between product and strategy? How do we all speak one language without having to necessarily affect the end person?
And you really study that customer, right? From telcos to banks. From your perspective, how do you then apply these guiding principles? Some campaigns you have worked on.
I have
learning.
I have different products I've worked with, and especially in the digital space. People want swiftness, safety, convenience. Segment people you're going to talk to first. Of course, there are those ones who are like, their lives revolve around their gadgets. Then you'll find some people whose lives revolve around the traditional ways, and then bringing them on board to the gadget, to mobile and internet is different in banking. But how do we integrate this into the lives of the customer? Is by understanding their lifestyle. Who are they? If I want to target, say, Aggie, I want to know Aggie. She's a woman. Does she have a family? Yes. Who is her circle? You just create like a persona, and now you replicate, and you're like, we have a number of Aggies, about 4,000. This is the messaging we have for them. Then you're like, okay, these are the Winnies. Winnie's laid back, traditional, tailor the messaging for them. Move away from the one size fits all and speak to what they want to hear. I always tell my team, when you're dealing with people, ask yourself, what is their funidamo? What is in it for them?
Translate.
What do they gain from using your service? What do they gain from taking you as a service provider? What do they gain from referring you to someone else? If you get the why, the rest becomes easy peasy. You're speaking to their core.
The pain point.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, that weaves into your leadership style.
Yes.
You're big on advocating for strong, transparent leadership. Has your past shaped the leader you are today?
Yes, it has.
What happened in the past that you knew things happened?
No, I've been blessed. I've had both sides, very good and really nasty ones. For me, I always say, this has happened to me. I don't want to push it forward. If it is a bad thing, the buck stops where I am.
Yeah.
For the next person, I don't want to be like Winnie. If I'm in a situation, I'm like, Winnie will do it this way, then I want to do it the other way. As leaders, we need to start with the person or the people first. Before the systems, before the processes, before the policies. It is the people first. Once you get the people on your side, and you get to that I'm working with people, with human beings who have feelings, who have so many things around them, then you start working around that. You imagine in workspaces you have women who are married, men who have kids. There are different things. You have the single mother, you have a single father. Each one comes with their own set of issues. But how you handle them matters.
Yeah.
You'll find maybe today the single mother has come to work and her child is very sick. They've been having issues and they're like, you know what, I will not mention. But you can sit and look at someone and like, this person is not happy. I thank God I have that thing of, I'll look at it and I'm like, something is off.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
And most times, I don't know if it's a sixth sense, but it has helped me when I ask, are you okay? And they're like, no. So when they tell you what is happening,
yes, how are you? It will be automatic.
Yeah, when they tell you, I realize it's okay. Sort it out first. This person will always put you in the workspace first, because they realize you care for their well-being. So whatever pertains to you, they will also care for it. People think that in workspaces is transactional, but most of my friends are from my workplaces. Some have become family. I've gone to their family events. They have come to my family events. They know my siblings. I have friends who, right now, my siblings invite to go out and party. And they will tell me pictures.
Feel left out.
They're like, you guys don't have that common ground. Yes. But we have this ground with them. Even my siblings are like, you haven't called so and so. Sometimes they call them before you think, do I want to disturb them? You know, their programs. Like, this person has this program on this day.
Yeah.
Let me just let them be. Before you know it, they are telling you, how come your sister is sending me this? How come your brother has sent me this? And you're like, oh, okay, wow. Over the weekend, I have a former colleague. We worked with them at Centenary.
Yeah.
She came to visit me. People say that relationships are transactional. Someone who lives on the other side of town comes, she calls, she's like, I am here. Direct me. I was shocked. Some of these relations, it's about creating time and making the connection.
Yes.
Because you never know. I keep telling people, in 2014, my passport had expired. I needed to travel that afternoon. I'm seated in office, very, very disillusioned and sad. I'm like, I'm going to miss this trip. I'm going to miss the per diem, shopping. And you'll be amazed at who came and asked if I was okay. It was a cleaner. She's like, you don't look okay. Are you okay? And I'm like, no, I need to renew my passport. She's like, I know someone in passport office. In the passport controller's office. And I'm like, okay. What do I do? I'm like, no. She's like, give me the details. I gave her the details and transport. She went to passport office. Next thing I know, I'm being called for the interview. I got my passport. Imagine if I had treated this girl badly. She wouldn't have gotten time to come and talk to me and ask me what is going on. For me, it is one lesson I keep telling everyone. Be good to people. Treat them as human beings. This world is so interwoven. You do not know who you will meet tomorrow.
Absolutely. It speaks to life being short. I think I've had quite a few deaths just recently that I keep thinking, okay, if this were the last time. Yesterday I had a brunch with one of my best friends and she was living in Uganda. And her husband said, well, just hug it out like this for your last time. Of course, it's just a see you later. But in that moment, I thought, okay, it's been good for all the times we've shared. We'll treasure them. So I think it's also the same. It applies at the workplace. Some people take others for granted, but then they forget that it's a roller coaster. At one point, you're at Centenary one time, and then next time, you never know how well you treated people. Some of us had great experiences with bosses, still feel like friends. We could chat up and say, hey, what are you doing? This is the vibe I'm getting from you as well. The vibe I'm getting from you and your friends that you have created, that you've even long after you've left those organizations, you still are friends. You've created those lasting relationships. And I remember I read something about leadership you wrote. You said it's not only a function of...
It's not a function of the business to grow, but we need to understand it's the people at the center of it. So it's not a function of the business to grow, but we need to understand it's the people.
Leadership.
It's about the people, not business. So most of the time we forget that. My former boss used to tell me there are two types of leaders. The one who has gone through the elevator and the one who has taken the steps. The one who has taken the steps has gone through the different levels of leadership, with guidance, with mentorship, with hand-holding. And the one who has gone from the elevator is Winnfred, Keere, today seated here, becomes the CEO with no mentor, with no guide, with no hand-holding. And I just get to that point and I am being bashed. When you get the bash, you're like, you know what, I'm now hard. But I have to make the decisions. But you see, when someone has gone through the process, the different steps and levels they learn, for every level in leadership, if you don't have a mentor, you end up goofing. And people don't realize, yeah, you might be the best, but everyone needs someone to handhold them. Everyone needs someone to guide them, which is not something that you see in our environment these days. The ones who have gone through the lift are the ones who are so much into policies, procedure. And they forget it's about the people. Then the one who has gone through the steps, because they realized, you know what, every step I go up, there are people I have left down. They realize the people who make them who they are.
For those people we've left and want to get into marketing, with your stint in the marketing ecosystem, what advice do you have? What does it take to be a great marketer? Later on, become a chartered marketer.
The best advice I would give is have the passion. All my former bosses told me this. For me, when I get a project, I take it as if it's a personal project. I keep asking myself, if this were your project, how would you handle it? I want people to get the best. Anyone who wants to get into marketing, get into your organization. Find out from the marketing teams if you can do an hour or two with them. I know a couple of people who have joined marketing and then they realize, it's hard work. It's hectic, draining. But if they're taking time to come, do an hour with the team, get in their brainstorming sessions, ask if you can sit in and listen in to get to know the thought process. How do they do this? Why are they doing it? You also need to understand why you want to join marketing. Some people might say, I want to be into marketing, but they're actually very passionate about sales. So you need to know, why am I joining marketing? Is it to elevate myself, to craft great stories, to support things? What exactly is making you go there? And if you want to become a chartered marketer, do the work. Go to school, UMI, data mine, all have same courses. But UMI has a very good postgraduate marketing management. It is very good. It actually opens your mind, how you look at marketing. The fact that it is hands-on makes it even very beautiful.
What trends, apart from patterns around the customer, are you taking seriously today?
Today, we would look at the digital landscape. Recently, I was in the village. Whenever I go to the village, I tell myself, Winnie, you're off the marketing, you're a village girl. I call myself a village belle. One thing I noticed in my village, most of the people, even the old ones, were watching TikTok.
Your villagers are very modern.
I tell myself, this is the space most marketers haven't gone in a lot in Uganda. But it is ripe for customer engagement, customer education, product knowledge sharing. Till today, I'm trying to understand what pushed them to go and watch. Because they could have watched videos on YouTube. Why TikTok? That's the one trend that has given me headache lately. I want to break it down to understand. Why are people going to TikTok? What is it about TikTok that makes it easier for even a 70-year-old to pick his phone and sit and laugh? So imagine you're this marketer tasked to drive a brand. If you placed your 40-second advert in between those videos, the first time it will slip by. But every time it comes in, they're like,
more familiar.
They click and watch your content. They might not consume, but become an influencer. Telling people. For me, it's about looking at different spaces, different channels. Sometimes we look at channels, especially in digital, and we don't think of them much. In Uganda, we tend to think you can actually do digital without traditional. But when you look at the statistics from NITA, from UCC, we still have a long way to go in terms of being so digital.
A lot of people have prophesied the traditional media is dying and here we come digital, but no, that's pretty much.
I keep telling people these two have to support each other. Someone will see something from traditional and buy digital, or see it from digital and buy traditional. So you cannot divorce the two. And it's one thing I want. Most of us marketers will like saying, oh, digital is a thing, oh, digital. But sometimes I feel like, oh, you're trying to lie. I don't want to say it to them, but sometimes we're lying to ourselves that we can do it all on digital. We need to have a point of convergence for the two. I know we can say, let's move most budget to digital. It makes it cheaper and easier to reach people. But then we can't run away from the traditional. Okay, traditional, we can run away from some and keep like some.
Which ones?
I plead the fifth on that one. I don't want to be attacked. Because people will be like, oh, you are the one on the podcast saying that. No, I plead the fifth. Yeah. I think, in the future, if we really look Uganda, we can push it in the digital space, and I am happy that there's a digital society, and they are doing so many amazing things. I actually need to join that society.
Yes.
I never thought about it, but I need to join.
If you're a blogger, the gentleman was challenging me to list digital practitioners, but you can run short of them. It's true. If we work in silos, and there's $166 million to be made out of digital in Uganda, then we might as well work together to get this money.
But did you dissect the budget? So before you bloggers, there's a lot of money to make in the tourism space.
Tell us.
Tourism needs brand Uganda.
Tell us.
There's money in brand Uganda. Position yourselves for that.
This morning there was a WhatsApp chat about what the impact on the economy and citizenry. So I wanted to get deep into that conversation. Tell us, what did you find out?
For me, I looked at 3 things. Brand Uganda, they are going to support with some infrastructure. They are going to support with the road networks. Then there is the marketing bit of brand Uganda itself. The money they've given tourism, not a lot, but it's something to start with. Then I looked at going into 2040, the NDP4.
Yes.
There's that aspect of literacy. This is an angle for digital practitioners to actually go on.
Tapping.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made. The budget has been broken down for every sector, which is good. Even in minerals, there's so much work for the digital guys. So. The money is here. Now you just have to angle yourself and say, I want to focus on the tourism sector. Luckily, UTB boss is a marketer. She will understand that.
How?
Yes, those questions, because she will ask, how do we get to where we want to go? Using your channels, positioning Uganda differently. Right now, we just need a switch off and switch on. Because we have so much. You go to our game parks and look at them like, I had a video, I think about 2 weeks ago. I posted some video of Murchison Falls, and it was one of my best performing videos on channel. And people were asking, is this Victoria Falls?
Yeah.
I'm like, heck no.
This is the pearl of
Uganda. So for me, I was like, if a capere like me can post on my personal channels and get this kind of traction. Imagine we have these influencers in Uganda who have a big following. We don't have to go the route that Rwanda took. We can make our own unique way of positioning Uganda and putting it out there.
Different
part of Africa. Our stories. I believe our story is authentic. Our story is beautiful. And there's so much work that goes around. You'll find there are some places where revenue from the parks, the local community also gets. And this is something no one speaks to. When you position yourself, you're like, you know what, it's not only going to support this, but there's a wider... The impact story says a lot. I don't think we use it to the maximum.
Yeah.
I always see this gentleman, Wekesa, has really marketed Uganda. I see his posts on X, and I'm like, if we had 100 Wekesas who have 1 million followers plus, targeting different expos, we are targeting the different countries where we know that the revenue of tourism comes from. It's about our brand positioning. We need to treat Uganda as a brand, not as a country, but a brand where there's the right PR, there are the right communication messages, the products are done right, we're targeting the right customers, and
the right leadership.
Yes, we need to treat it as a brand product with all the 4 P's: pricing, place, promotion. Which places are we going to market? Is our headline place? What is the pricing for this? Such that it is well done. We need to see the report. Not just these 100 pages. We want to see a report, even if it's a 10-pager. This campaign, these are the results, this is what we didn't do right, then recommendations, and people are like, okay, then you spin the wheel again. 10 years will be surpassing East African money. That is my dream.
It's a good touch into the future. It's good foresight. And if it can happen, I think we would be the real pearl of Africa.
We should.
Yeah.
We should be part of Africa, even the dollars coming in, jobs created for Ugandans, everything.
I like how this has given us an entry into the most popular question we ask every guest. People say, you ask these questions and they make us sweat. But what do you think Winnie is going to take for Uganda to achieve a middle class economy? You have alluded to nice things, starting with a promotion and having the right systems in place.
As Ugandans, we need a mindset change. We think we are going to be given. We are not as aggressive as our neighbor.
That's true.
We need to be go-getters. We have everything to achieve that status.
People are biased when they speak about how aggressive Nigerians are or Kenyans are.
Those guys go for what? You cannot go. You go for an interview with a Nigerian, they will dress impeccably. Even before anything, their dressing alone gets them into the room. I recently spoke to one who was dressed neatly, smelling well, speaking with confidence. The guy was oozing so much confidence. If I don't listen to this guy, I could end up getting sold to what he's saying. They carry themselves with confidence, which we don't have. I don't know if it is our upbringing, but if you're very confident,
it's very systemic. Think with primary school, you raise your hand to give an answer. It's like if the teacher was already tired of answers, like, we're done with that question. They don't want to be challenged. For our generation, if you didn't have a mindset change, people are stuck in that lock. They're really stuck there, that they haven't moved from being more confident, assertive, and getting what they want. But that's at least that's what I think.
When I look at my nieces and nephews in private schools,
totally different.
They're so confident.
Absolutely. They have all the solutions powered by technology. They will just search on their phones if there's something. You know?
That's what I do. Calling me like, Duke, like, yes. To the remote and you look at it right there, you're like, dude,
when we were
I was sent and I never asked.
Exactly. This is not that age.
You ask you a question, challenge you.
I'm not like this.
Glad it's happening, but not sure all schools are doing it. I notice it's a trait in private schools. So government schools should give up children confidence. Boost them. I have a niece in the village, a cousin actually, and my nephew. When we go to the village, these two can't have a conversation. One has an inferiority complex. These ones are speaking English. When she speaks the local language, they're like, she's speaking the language. And like, she tells you no. She'll speak a sentence or two and shy away. You keep telling her, even if you've made a mistake, continue.
But we don't need to encourage them. For example, they're in their village, they didn't speak with our judges. They need to learn the language.
I know English.
My grandfather
speak to them.
My husband was giving her a hard time. I'm also seeing this with my sister's children. They don't know the language. They really don't want to associate until their dad is like, hello, we're learning this language. The more, I think the schools are doing their part, but the parents at home should ground their children in the culture.
Yes, culture matters. But I believe that for us to get to the middle income status, first of all, we need a mindset change. In Karama, I was like, these guys, first of all these monies that government is putting on everything, we need to do like a literacy for like 5 years, non-stop literacy programs for people. So in that literacy, you're doing behavior, culture, financial, so you're getting a rounded Ugandan. But you have these guys who wake up and think about alcohol. They've gotten their PDM money for alcohol. They've gotten the yoga, they're going for alcohol. And this spoon-feeding mentality, that all these programs come, people think it's just for giving them money. People need to work for the money. If you've gotten that loan, then you need to pay it back.
I was in a conversation with a certain minister, and he was speaking to the client I had brought, and they were saying, well, we need some loans forgiven. I was like, you must be joking. Why would anyone give you their money and you don't hope to pay back? No one does that. they can give you better structure or ways of payment, and then you discuss, you say, no, let's do it in terms. But then saying, no, we want to be forgiven. Whose money are you playing with? Public money.
Yeah.
So,
from the public officers who handle the money to the last mile person, we need to know it's a loan. And it has to be paid back.
yeah, EFS.
Things need to come out clearly. I'm getting this 1 million, it has to be paid back. I'm in charge. It's a World Bank loan. We have to pay it back in this period. The way the structures are done, it needs to be run as a private institution. Private banks and foreign-owned banks run. Business, serious. There's nothing of playing around. So KPIs have to be in place. We've gotten this money. What are our key performance indicators? What are we measuring? After 1 quarter, what is the outcome? People measure themselves and they're like, you know what? We have failed on this one. And heads need to roll. People realize, I don't have to joke. I have to put in the work. For me, that is my philosophy. Everyone has to put in the work. Where government is doing mindset change, as an individual, am I putting in the work? What am I doing? I've planted cassava. What have I done with my cassava? Today I was reading a story where they're saying pineapples are becoming expensive because they are going to Kenya. You're in Kayunga. You plant pineapples. Look for someone in Kampala and sell to them. Put a stall at the roadside. Don't do the usually say it's
Directors.
Don't wait for the talkers to come. They have trucks that go to farms and get stuff. Who's going to come to your farm and get stuff? The second time, the third time, get contacts.
Opportunity.
Don't wait for them.
For us to dry our food.
Do you have someone you know? You know it's about putting your best foot forward.
Yes.
Every time you wait for them to come and you're hiding. That's how things are leaving us behind.
Absolutely.
For us, we are still sitting and waiting. You find people, you give them PDM and they're waiting. Some have bought like 1 pig.
In hope.
One like this. And you say you have to have my 1 million went. I understand there are other challenges people face, which is understandable. But while you're facing those ones, decide and say, okay, I got the 1 million for PDM. I've gotten the 1 million. A piglet is about 200k. Can I buy 3? Of the 3 I'm buying, 1, the male and female.
Yes.
I buy 2 females and 1 male. In 6
Multiply.
months, I should have a multiplication effect. Or in a year. And we fold our hands, yes. So,
Mindset.
yeah.
Yes.
You'll find me here.
Goes down to mindset.
Lately, I've been listening to Nigerian preachers, and what amazes me, those guys will, after the sermon, speak about money. We have sessions, trainings in church, seedlings we are going to give out, but you need to show interest. Ugandan churches need to copy these things.
Yeah.
Preach
There's
the
a
gospel.
women's conference next door Saturday. This place. My mom went. I wonder how much information they get.
Some of these things, it is, well, the government is doing its bit. Also, you in your own nuclear system, how are you doing it? Because we can't wait. We need to go to a middle income. Government will do that. Yeah. As long as I get my money, we are the government.
We are
The government. Sometimes we forget that. If I remember my social studies, the government is the people.
Yes.
We are the government. So we need to get to the middle income.
I wonder someone listening from government hearing how confident Winnie is. They're like, Winnie is our next PS.
I am good at being on the outside. I will look at it from the outside. I think they're a bit hard.
No, I really like how data-driven and empirical you are. But also, when I saw you having studied the MBA, I thought she must be brilliant. So I'm really glad your insights with us. If someone liked something you really say that spoke to them, where do they find you?
In Kampala.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, I check my inbox every day, at least. Winnfred, Keere. On X, it's still WKEERE. Those are the 2 official ones.
Where do you get your inspiration from? Where do you find your inspiration? You've been very big on leadership and mentoring people. Where does this come from?
I think it's a bit here and there. My former supervisors, Beatrice and Immaculate. I read John Maxwell books. I listen to Vusi, Stephen Bartlett. I listen to him a lot. There's this guy, I think of Puma. I keep forgetting his name. My grandfather, my mother, my father, my siblings. My siblings are a big block. They are a rock in my life. So, but also reading. I've been reading The Diary of a CEO, 48 Laws of Leadership, listening to John Maxwell's Begin with the Why.
Yeah.
I have people I work with. Whoever I'm like, I want to be like this person.
It's nice to have aspiration.
My mentor is the CEO of Centenary Bank, Malawi.
You talked about it earlier. Even leaders need
Yes,
change.
yes.
But what is it about your mentor?
He makes me do the work. He makes you do the work. He asks pertinent questions, and they are really difficult questions that I think, oh, okay. My first conversation with him, I sat back and I'm like, Winnie, you're really daft.
Like,
When someone makes you
Yeah.
start asking
I feel
questions.
like that all the time on this podcast. Yes. We bring on such smart people. Look at yourself. Well thought, put together, articulate.
Thank you.
Okay.
The first conversation I had with him, I was still working then at Centenary Bank. We went in his office for like an hour. And he asked me, what's your 5-year plan? I never thought about a 5-year plan. He told me organizations do the strategy, 5-year strategy. As an individual, you need to have a 5-year strategy. And it has to have the person, the community, family, career. It took me a month to come up with a plan. And every time I shared a draft, he's like, I don't see this. What are you going to do in community? You need a purpose. Some of those things I had.
Yeah.
For me, it was merry go, happy, go lucky. I am marketing. I never thought about my life beyond marketing. But he made me open. I started critiquing myself more, and I'm like, that first day I went back at my desk and I'm like, you're really very daft.
You have to have a master's program, you have to have a 5-year plan.
He gave a 3-year lesson in 1 month.
Yeah.
All of us, he mentored, turned out well.
What's your 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan is major. The aspect is community. I want to impact our community back in the village. The culture is included in my village. I want to have a blog. Even if I'll go and they just see and they're like, oh, she was in Kampala, she attained the chartered marketer status, she's from this family that we know, she is studied, I just want to be that inspiration for that girl child in the village. Then also our area has issues with environmental things, so I want us, I have some engagements I've been having with people around me of how do we impact these guys to start growing trees, to realize burning polythene is bad, when we have plastic bottles, how do we put them away. I also dream of partnering with people doing paper beads, doing toilet paper, to teach these skills. If there's an organization out there who can partner with us, we would really need you to come on board and we impact people.
Your story is as inspiring as your impact. I mean, you could have chosen to do something here in Kampala, but you even thinking of the villagers, like you kept calling them. That is very thank you. We couldn't have been better without this insight. We appreciate you making time. You're very busy, but you made time today. We're going to be better with this. I'm sure the Patriot is going to choose 1 or 2 things to take out today.
Yeah, thank you.